Davis, and this is my second speech of the course. I'm in Communications 110. My major is psychology. Right now I'm holding my two note cards that I was required to do and keep on hand. And I'm going to introduce everybody one more time. This is my father, Daryl Davis, and one of our Shih Tzus, another one. My daughter's friend Michaela with one, my wife Lisa, the other fourth Shih Tzu, and my daughter Taylor, and my mother. Okay, so I'm going to hand the camera off to my daughter Taylor so she can start filming this. Okay, this speech is on an informative speech on cognitive behavioral therapy. What that really means is the therapist, whether it be a psychologist or a psychiatrist or therapist, would basically teach us and instruct us that how we think can also affect how we feel. Okay, a lot of folks don't know that. But basically, in short terms, it's kind of like a checkup from the neck up, okay? And what the patient should try to learn is to get rid of stinking thinking, okay? Because a lot of the thinking that we do really avoid, and again, it affects how we feel, okay? The healthy habits part of it is basically it reduces stress. It relaxes the person. It gives them a more healthy mental life. Okay, and it's very therapeutic, and it's basically meant to manage for the long-term care. Okay, and that's also what the setting is. The setting is a managed healthcare setting. Okay, between the therapist or psychologist and the patient. The long-term approach really means that the patient should end up, after it's over with, to take those tools of what they learned and use it for their life down the road. So anytime they ever have bad thoughts or things that used to bother them, they can know what to do. The basic bottom line of the whole message is basically getting the person to think of positive thinking, okay, instead of the thinking that they were doing. The patient, their job is mainly to focus and also thinking about how they can care for themselves after all this is done. Main thing is when they're by themselves, they can either do it two ways. They can either, some have learned to think of the word stop in their minds when they're in that setting, so they would make themselves, manage their own thinking at that time. So, or I've even heard of rubber bands, where they start off with when they think of a bad thought, they can flip the rubber band to kind of interject their thinking as well. So on that same note, there are differences and also similarities in these. There's different kinds of cognitive behavioral therapies. The thought process, basically causes our feelings to the things we think of are not really their fault. In other words, you can't blame people, you can't blame other things when these bad things happen. It's like a remote control for a television. You have the power to turn that remote off, and that's what that training is about. We all watch programs, we all do things where we don't even turn it off, even for our own children, which again, same process. It could cause thinking on their part to be bad as well. Garbage in, garbage out, just like the computer scenario. One good thing to think about is you are what you are and where you are in life because of what goes in your mind. If you tell yourself you ain't going to think of something or can't do something, you won't do it. So the efforts between the client is the client is to express themselves, reach out, and basically be, in that realm to the therapist. The therapist is to listen, teach, and encourage that patient for long term. I'm going to go ahead and end, and basically leave everybody with the thinking that this does relieve stress, and it does help with relaxation and healthy mental attitudes. Thank you.